Namaste, welcome everyone to Satsang today here in Rishikesh. And welcome to all of you who are joining via broadcasting so that we can enjoy and participate and explore together in the same time field. I know many people, depending on where you are, some are staying up quite late in the night to be here with us today, and others are rising early in the morning for same reason. So, thank you. May this day, in whichever way it will unfold, be the day of God, meaning that we have all come, I assume, and I know for sure in some cases, that people have come with an open heart to discover the possibility of what's really possible in the life in terms of discovering and experiencing clearly the nature of the self, not as a fleeting experience, but as the unchanging truth that is our source and self, in fact. And to integrate, so to speak, in some cases, I have to use words like that. That is, we have not yet, in some cases, reached the place where that total absorption will take place, but more, at least, to be willing to integrate with that higher state of consciousness in order to purify ourselves from the grip of the lower states. And as I have said before, and I've pointed out, and I'm sure you yourself can verify, that in this type of environment it becomes increasingly clear that there are forces working within our being. Some force seem to pull our attention towards just our bodily existence and about survival on a biological and material way, to keep us bound into this limited state of personhood or ego. And yet there's a force within us which is not fighting against that. It does not need to fight because it is of the higher state of consciousness. That is also present within this experiencing suit of our body. I said the body is necessary for consciousness in its manifestation, because through the body, consciousness can have the taste of diverse experiencing. It is not the ultimate. And there are some, I am sure here, who are on the verge of that ultimate discovery, for whom there's very little that seems to stand in the way of that ultimate seeing. And I'm speaking of ultimate seeing, I'm not creating any division that it is somewhere separate and far away. That is not my experience. That is not my experience. That there is no distance between you and your true self. There's not two, in fact. There's only one. But one is false. It is also connected to the pure one, and it was intended that from the pure would manifest an aspect of itself as personhood. And in this limited mode of personhood, we will believe ourselves to be deeply personal and having a personal existence. And because even the person is an aspect of consciousness, we will believe it. It will seem real and tangible and intimate and factual. And perhaps for this reason, wherever we may be within ourselves, largely we feel that's what we are. But in many cases, as we see here, there is doubt about this egoic identity. And so an openness, which is necessary to go beyond that, has begun to show itself. I call it grace. And what is grace? It is also an expression of the Supreme Self. to all the forms it manifests itself through, to trigger and to awaken within ourselves, the realization that we possess the power of discernment, and because we are in fact fundamentally the self, we are not going to create a self. We are only going to discover this. And satsang is for this reason. I'm stating this very clearly today because I'm sure there are many people who are new. Amongst people who are not familiar with this kind of satsang, you are very welcome to be in this place because also God brought you here. But I would not invite questions from someone who just drops in necessarily and who are not familiar with this, the way that we are speaking. I will endeavor to keep my words in a very simple way because what I'm pointing out is fundamentally very simple. As I've said a number of times, the truth is simple, but the seeker of truth is complex. And because of this complexity and the faith in the belief that we are this person, all of that amounts to an experience that feels like it's very difficult and far away. I hope by grace we come to see today, those whose time has come to see the simplicity, the naturalness, and the effortlessness of what we truly are. And to recognize that the one who is making the effort, which we believe is our actual self, is only an aspect of consciousness seen from the true place of ourself. If you don't hear my words and understand them, that is also fine. There are many ways in which understanding awakens in the heart. It doesn't always have to come through conceptual exchange. The very fact that you are here, if you are open at least, you will leave from this place with something beautiful. But sometimes even this we don't fully appreciate until later. So, unplanned talking, okay, good. Welcome to satsang. Okay. Can I speak with you? Yes.
Good morning.
Good
Namaste.
morning. Namaste.
Mooji, I love you.
I love you too.
I know.
Good.
You brought me here,
Okay.
and thank you. There have been times sitting here I thought I would need to come up and ask you to deliver me home, but you have done that. The person has been dropping away for years before I even knew you. But when I saw you, it was love in my heart. And so I kept listening to you, and then I came to Zimar in October, and that was beautiful, and during the invitation, everything was lovely. But still, the person kept, it was like the person had a lifeline, a secret oxygen tank or something that just kept it going. And so God brought me here, and during the invitation a few days ago, it just punched me in the chest that everything is just life. There's no me, there's no you, there's no everyone else. It's just life. That's all there is. And even still, after that, I went away and things just still, that person, that little bit of a there's just something not quite. And so yesterday I came for the afternoon program and watched you speaking with the man and his family, and something just cracked. And I went away and it was just simmering. And so this morning, awareness woke me up. No alarm clock was needed. I woke myself up, and it was effortless. And everything today looks so beautiful and amazing and perfect. I'm so grateful to you. So grateful for this time that God has given you to point the way. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So now, internally, what is here now? What remains? Because you say that finally something cracked and then... So as you are now, what you can say? What is here?
Everything. Everything is here, and peace is here, love. Love, I've never known this kind of love before. It's so pure and natural and easy. And beautiful. And it's not like tasting anymore. It's like being, just being it. It is who I am. There are no edges or borders or beginnings or endings or, at some point...
What can I ask, if I can just make it broader as a thing? What feels more true? That you are everything or that you are nothing? Take a moment. What feels more true? Don't force anything. I'm not asking anybody to create anything. In your listening, and say even at the end of the invitation, you have sat and you've been present, so listened, and in your listening, you don't have the feeling that you are doing anything at all, but a seeing is taking place, and I call a kind of a waking up out of a sleep that was mistaking something to be something which it was not. Anyway, at the end of the invitation, if you are listening with headphones, you put it down. If it's a book, you put it away. Now, what remains here? What is your experience? That you are everything or that you are nothing? Or even that there's no you to be everything or nothing? I'm careful not to slip into clever language. I'm only asking, what feels true? Is that you are everything, or that there's really nothing, but it's not the nothing from the mind, because mind says, you're nothing. You're talking to me? Not that kind of nothing, not this kind of psychological nothing, not a put down nothing, not a drop out nothing, just nothing. And nothing beyond even the concept of nothing.
It's an emptiness, an open nothing.
Okay.
Not like a valueless nothing, but just a spaciousness.
Very good. Who wants that? Who wants nothing? Who can have nothing? Can nothing be something that is a possession? Is there, I finally have found nothing? It's a very general question, I'm just putting it out, no? Just because there's something even in this statement Because sometimes if we're not used to, or if you've not really heard it in the way that I'm speaking, it might sound, but what's the point of nothing? Have I come here to find nothing? Well, not the nothing that we think from the mind, like, well, nothing. So as long as we have the feeling that we are something, nothing is really appealing to you. Nothingness won't be appealing. So you answered in a way, yes, it's true, that there's just a sort of, like a vastness, a sort of empty. You're not merely a container of knowledge and memories and desires and attachments. Though you are aware of what I mean when I say these things, but they're not sticking to anything. Okay. And just to show, does that mean you are dead?
No.
Does it mean that you have thrown away the world? It's an old dream, forget about it. Is anything like that?
No.
No. Are you able to relate with your family? To speak with them and to, Or do you have to tell them, listen, Mom, I just want to tell you I am nothing. I am nothing, G. And, is there any need to say anything about it? No. Somehow, from here, it is as though we have deconstructed a lot of false ideas about things, and as you are is as you are. Can't explain. There is no teaching about this emptiness. It is not to be learned or to be studied. It is to be discovered. It doesn't know itself as emptiness. And yet it is naturally conversant with all things. It is not cynical about life. It is not rooted in preferences. And yet superficially, these things may have a little play, but they have it's not consequential, you see. It is not something necessarily you're going to come today and you leave with this big nothing. Gradually, in Satsang, it is as though this stubborn mind and thing, I gave the example, it is like putting a piece of ice in a bucket of warm water and a melting is taking place. The ice is constitutionally water also, and the warm water is water also. But the name and form and the sense of separation become one. But even when the ice is shaped, the water is shaped like ice, and the water is warm water, it is still only water. Something comes to recognize this, not in a heady way, not as some kind of intellectual conviction. It's something very different. So I'm not going to talk about it. But something recognized when the wrong thing is not filling your head anymore. You're empty, and yet fully in harmony with all things. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Could you speak? I want to speak with you. Yes, the lady here. Well, yeah, come over here. Mm-hmm.
Well, something brought me here.
Yes.
And I didn't know about you before I came. And at the first day here at Satsang, you showed me the truth. And some days ago, I experienced emptiness. But there was just nothing. There was nothing.
Okay.
There was just nothing.
Was that a disappointing discovery?
Yes.
Yeah. You know why it was a disappointing discovery?
There were no trumpets.
There was no?
Trumpets.
No what?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, no trumpets. Yes,
no.
yes.
No spaceship.
No spaceship, no spaceship. No spaceship. That's a new one. It's coming, it's coming.
There was nothing. And I thought even if that would not be there, there at least would be something. You know? but there was nothing.
But, yes. But what was recognizing the nothing? Was that something? Can nothing be disappointed with nothing? Only something can be disappointed with nothing.
Yes, something was disappointed. And
Yeah.
I looked in the room, I was sitting here, and it was after satsang, I experienced it, and I looked in the room, and the room was still the same.
Yes.
The
same, the room was the same something or nothing?
No, it was also the same. There was no
they didn't
fairy
vanish.
tale, no, and nobody, no dust, fairy tale, no more colorful world. I would expect there would be paradise.
That's the next level, okay? You have to go to the spaceship level. We have to go. No, come on. I want to hear what you're saying because it's something beautiful. Go on. There was nothing that was expected from the mind, such as if that was recognized, then everything would just be luminous and just, supernaturally beautiful, and all this thing would be there. But it was.
Yeah, it was just the same. Nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
And
Yes.
I just since then been living with this disappointment.
Could you say again what happened? Since then you're living with this disappointment?
Yes, I'm very disappointed.
Now, can I ask you, what exactly is disappointed? Is it you or your mind, or is there no difference?
No, my mind is disappointed.
Yes.
Because I've been looking so many years, and then I experience it, and there's nothing.
Yes. So is this nothing outside of you or on inside of you as well?
Inside.
Inside.
It was like I was looking inside. No, I was inside. I was just being. I was not doing anything.
Okay. So it's okay. All right. So in this discovery of nothingness outside, nothingness inside, but something was saying, what's going on? Is this it? Okay? So that must also be nothing. If that was seen, like that also is just like everything is as it is. And this voice is saying, how disappointing, Yeah? For who? For who is the disappointment? Let's slow down a little bit. For whom is the disappointment? There's nothing. Is it just a mental nothing, or is it a nothing? Don't touch this thing, this voice that says, oh, I'm disappointed. It is just a voice that arose and goes, is this it? It's nothing, how disappointing.
I feel it's just touching this pain, like.
Okay, so what if there's a pain that is appearing in the nothing, okay? The pain is appearing in the nothing, the sense of disappointing is appearing in the nothing. In fact, the room is still the same, appearing in the nothing also. Everything seems to be still there in a kind, but they're empty of somethingness, they're a kind of nothing. You also are appearing as someone in the nothing also. Mm-hmm. And also in the nothing is appearing a voice that's saying, I'm disappointed about this nothing. But what about just the nothingness itself? Not somebody saying there's nothing, just the nothingness itself. What does it feel? Does the nothingness feel disappointing?
No, it's just being.
It's just here.
It's just being, but maybe I also expected, I don't know, I did not, I mean, in this emptiness, there was neither happy or unhappy,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes.
Just longing to be happy, so I was also...
So wait a second, so there was still a seed of desire or expectation that at least if I came to whatever it is, because you didn't know if it was going to feel like nothing or just the most wonderful something, but in the actuality of the seeing, there was just sort of nothing. And then also there's a something that was expecting something, says, but where's the beautiful something?
Yes.
There's no trumpets, there's no angels, there's no, there's just nothing, okay? This which is saying, but there is nothing, where is that coming from?
Outside me.
Outside of you. Where is the limit of you as the nothing?
Nothing is endless.
Endless. So how can something be outside of the
Yes.
endless?
Yeah, it felt like it was.
Yeah. Some remnant of mind is just like this, you know, and you are just watching it. There's no need to take hold of that to do something. It is just something that the mind is. It's the old idea of the need to be something is thinning away like incense smoke in the wind, and it's going. But I'm disappointed. And something, it seems, is going, yeah, but that's also there. And I'm asking now, just from the place of the nothingness, we're using this word for the moment, it's okay,
Yes.
from the nothingness itself, don't touch any concept of happiness or sadness or anything at all, just the nothingness. You're here, in and as the nothingness itself. Don't touch any expectation. Because the mind is searching for a chance to come back like, so what you going to do now? You're nothing. What you going to do?
Yeah,
How are you going to make a living?
Yeah.
So who is it speaking to? Identify.
You mean like the person? Or
Yeah. Which is where?
I don't know, I feel it's speaking to the little child or something in me or something.
Yeah.
And I
So-
believe it.
Yes. So there's an image still appearing in the nothingness of oneself as a child. And it's speaking to this child. You know why it's speaking to this child? Because it wants to live. It's like It wants to be, it's pulling, you see. Don't go to this nothingness. Something is there that is feeling, if you become, look, it's almost all nothing except for you. Don't go any further. Because there's no happiness, there's no joy, there's no love, it's just emptiness. So what I'm saying here is that the mind itself is in a way hiding that joy. Its final voice is his final card he's playing. Yeah, look, it's nothing, but it's nothing. There's no love, there's no peace, there's no joy. Is that what you want? Why is it no joy? Because there's still a thread of somebody there to say, look, is this what you want? And this identity, little identity itself, just like you can use your fingernail to cover the sun, this one little bit of you see, is itself standing in the way of your own joy. This little I feeling, yeah, but I'm disappointed. It is a thought. And this thought is appealing in the vastness to try and hook into the sense of a person, to catch you. The little bit of something is holding, a little girl is going to be very lost in the emptiness. And this thought is coming. Don't go there. It's hiding the joy. It's hiding the peace. It's hiding the love. It's saying, look, Mooji told you. It's only emptiness. Behold, emptiness. You're looking because it sees that there's still some person there, and the person can go back to somethingness or to nothingness. And he's saying, come out of nothing. Because look, there's no joy, there's no peace, nothing there. Other people in this room might be feeling, oh my God, please, don't go to the nothing.
I want to tell everybody.
You want to tell them what?
Stop looking, there's nothing. Go home, yeah.
The last words, what?
Just go home.
Go home.
Yeah, live.
Where?
To live a happy life,
Huh?
Here is nothing,
There's nothing. Yeah. We have to finish this story because it is a story. It's a drama. No? Either now we're on the verge of a discovery. Either this is the most difficult and the biggest trick in the world, and I am at the front as the main trickster at the moment, to capture you in the blank nothingness. Okay? And something is going, stay in somethingness. You see? And this has happened before, because there were the story of some nuns who were doing meditation. They decided to do meditation. They went to a place to do meditation. And in the state of doing meditation, they came to the same thing you're talking, but it's nothing. Nothing. And they panicked. They said, it is nothing. We came to the place that they are calling truth. It was nothing, but there was nothing there. There was no life, there was not death, there was no sadness, but there was no joy. There was no peace, but there was no chaos. But it was just blank, it was dead. And they ran away and wrote a book. Don't go there. And something is still here. It's like the snake, the head of the snake is in the garden. but the tail is still in the room. And something is saying, "I'm disappointed. There's nothing here." So either you are going to prove that all the sages from the beginning of time until now were frauds. Okay? Because actually they found nothing. And they are so miserable, they want the whole world to be miserable like them, to find it's nothing, 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 nothing. I'm telling you guys, don't go. Okay? So you're a very important person to me today, because I've got to either work with you to prove with you there, not by any trickery, but by you, something is not complete. The mind itself has taken the shape of nothing. It is not nothing. It's not the complete. The mind itself is taking the shape of nothing. Remember one time I say, so subtle and so clever is this I ego, that it can slip behind the eyeballs of the seer and then says, "Look, there is nothing." And yet at some point, something will go, and he'll jump out, "Sorry." Okay? Something is there. Your inquiry is not finished. The mind has taken the form of nothing. How can it do that? Because something is being retained as something. And this something is like life. It's posing as, "Look, we are life. He's sucking the last breath out of you, and But you're already here. And this voice that say, "But don't let go." Now it's bringing the child. Oh, cute little child. Don't let the child go to nothing. Poor baby.
Yeah, it doesn't not want to be lonely, Like, he captured me because just what you just said,
Yes.
like, don't go to nothing because there's nothing and you will be all alone and there's no happiness, there's no joy. And that's captured me. And also the mind says, like, this is proof. It kind of made me not only disappointed, but also like to give up. Like you say,
Yes.
Life is not against us, but at some point I felt like life has given up on me and I've given up on life, and this is the proof. There's nothing.
This is the last ace up the sleeve of the mind. He's playing with you. Yeah. Either you're going to turn back. He's holding out. Don't build your house outside the gate of nirvana. He's holding out. Look. Don't go, don't go. Huh? But it's a trick that God has given you. So you have to overcome this one.
But
because if you fail at this, you are going to be afraid to come back here. Because the mind wants to register, you see, there's nothing. It's nothing. It's the nothing of the mind, which is the something for somebody. Don't go to that nothing, or else your existence is finished. I ask you, who is it speaking to? It's speaking to your self-image. It's speaking to the idea you are holding on to as to who you are. You see? And I want to ask you right now, you see, what now?
Well, I wanted to go home.
And home is in which direction?
The Netherlands.
Huh?
The Netherlands.
Netherlands?
Yeah, take the plane.
This plane will keep you into suffering. This plane will take you not to the Netherlands, but to the Never Land. It will keep you in suffering, this one. You see, this is going to be a very important satsang for many people to come. We want to see if you awaken to the truth or if you go back to Never Never Land. Because something has brought you here. And it's the last seed of mistrust has come. And again, like these nuns who went there and say, don't go there because it's blank. It's blank. Yes, it's true. There's no sorrow, but there's no joy. There's no death, but there's no life. There's no chaos, but there's no peace. You're on the verge of that. Like I say, it's the last card from your mind to try and trap you into somethingness. Everyone is holding on to somethingness. It is as though you are called. I said to one man here also, I said, you have come to this place and it's almost like a voice has called you, come in, come inside. But to you it looks like into the unknown. And something has brought you here, but to the mind it's like the unknown, the unknowable. And you say, but this voice is like the voice of God, but it could be the voice of the devil. I don't know. I'm on this point. So what he did, I say, you tie a rope around your waist, and you tie a rope around a tree, and then you say, I will go in to this place, and just in case it's a trick, I will pull myself back out into somethingness. And I said, this is why you don't find it, because you already betrayed your trust. Because by tying your rope onto this tree into somethingness, you were not fully in your heart to discover the truth. You wanted a guarantee, you wanted reassurance. But the reassurance will keep you, the person, who is the factory for delusion, to keep it alive in you. So I am here, I'm speaking up for you actually. So I am speaking from this emptiness, and you trust this voice, or is this voice also kind of like another Satan, you know?
No, I trust you.
Then I say, hear that voice, but don't cling to that voice. This voice is trying to pull you into shape of something to live a something life. This word nothing is not a word that is real, nor is emptiness. There are no words for where I am speaking from. It just is. And this place of is the one place that is unchanging. It is forever. It is timeless. It is perfect. You see? When you go back to somethingness, you go back to time, to change, to death. Now, what I'm speaking, I know it sounds crazy, because I also experience time and change and the play of you and me and this and that. But it's more superficial for me. The roots are not deep. So I am not covered by delusion, you see? I can have a taste of the world of changes and everything, it's fine. And in fact, the one who is awake enjoys this world more than any of you. But is not attached to it. You understand? So it's not like give up everything to receive nothing. No, I said, you are already here. But the mind, from the mind has come a very clever card for you to say, look, look. It puts its hand over the sun. Look, you see? If you go into emptiness, like emptiness is out there, you're already in the emptiness actually. You are already in the emptiness. but the thought is coming. If you let go of the somethingness, which is where your ego is living and which is not true, then you're making the biggest mistake. And that's why I ask you, who is it speaking to? And it's speaking to the fear in you.
I'm afraid to get lost.
Yes.
And the mind says, I will not survive without him. The mind.
The fear exists in the person, not in the self. The fear exists inside the mind of the person, not in the self. The mind is making the self to look like it's a black hole, and the you, which is a something, is going to go suck into a black hole, and bye, you won't even hear the word bye, you're gone. But I am here, and you are here. And I'm not telling you to step into anything. I'm not telling you to step into any black hole. I'm not even telling you to step into any unknown. I'm saying, don't hold that voice that is telling you, he's been lying to you all your life, actually. You know him. He's the same one speaking into the mind of everybody from this side. You're not good enough. You failed. These people don't like you. Blah, 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 blah. And you have listened to that voice. And something brought you to satsang. And that thing is the grace that's working for your liberation from the voice of the deceiver. And you must discern which is the deceiver, you see. Because he is made a, look, behold, it's nothing. It's the same what Mooji say, you are nothing. But he's made a psychological nothing. He's made a nothing of fear. He's saying if you go there, you are finished. But who is this you who would be finished? The false idea you have of who you are, seen from the real place.
It's like, just like why I believe this voice of the mind, like...
Because you always believed it. By habit, we all believed it.
Yeah.
We all believe everything, and most of the things the mind come with, until at a certain point you began to doubt. And when you began to question and heard another voice that is telling you, you don't have to become any of this thing, you don't have to become any... I'm not telling you to become anything. I'm not even telling you to become the unknown. As a matter of fact, you are already the unknown. We are all the unknown, appearing to be the apparent known. No one can come to the end of what you are.
And if it says you will not be happy or not find...
Are you happy now?
Maybe I have the wrong concept of happy. I don't feel this love or happiness.
No, because you are watching the mind's version of nothingness, of emptiness.
That's why it feels so empty.
Yes. I have said before, there's two kinds of nothingness. The nothingness that comes from the mind, and the nothingness which never came and cannot go. But nobody is aware of it. Something is clinging to somebody, to the sense of somebody. It says, I'd rather be a poor, miserable somebody than to be nobody. It's turned all of this into a circus. Like somebody's going to come to nothing. And I said, no, stay in something. Some people, they come and they say, Guruji, please help me because, please don't be sparing with me. And I've lived with them, I've looked at them, and if they say, my mind sometimes very strong, don't let him take me over. I said, if you speak from your heart, then I will fight for you, but I will not fight instead of you. But then sometimes I found, in rare cases, when they were saying no, I pushed them, and they went, thank you. But I am not an intruder. I can only speak to you from where I am and to tell you. All this is a play in your mind. You're clinging to something, and this one will not make you happy. It will not make you happy. You are already where you are, but you're thinking you're somewhere else, actually. You are already the emptiness, clinging to a bit of somethingness as an idea. I can't tell you you're going to go to nothingness, because it's no distance. In what direction is nothingness? There's a direction for somethingness, but there's no direction for the emptiness. You are already this. You are fundamentally. I'm using the word nothingness, and the mind has turned it into a bogey word. It's turned it into a monster word. Nothingness. You see? But I'm only advising you, stay as you are. But the mind is saying, could you see? Tell you to say something. I am not something. Or I can say I'm something and I'm nothing. I don't know what I can say to you. And if I said to you, okay, leave this idea about being something here. You said, do you trust anything I'm speaking?
Yes.
So if I say, this place that you're standing here now, in this place of, I'm on the verge of this place where there's a kind of nothingness, but something is saying, no, don't go there. If I were to promise you with all of my life now to say, okay, you leave this position here, just don't hold on to this and be where I am. And if it doesn't work, go back. I will help you to go back to this place and pick up this thing. Would you trust this?
Yes.
Then leave this idea, this fear about something. Just relax into just what is already here. Don't become anything, but don't cling to this idea. Are you not still here?
Yes. I'm still here.
Don't hold on to anything. Don't hold on to somethingness, and don't hold on to even nothingness. Don't hold on to anything. Don't hold on to the sense of I or you. Don't even hold on to the idea of God. Don't hold on to anything for a moment. Don't hold on. Don't combine with anything. Does this feel painful?
No.
No. Is it just blank and dull and lifeless?
No.
No. What is it then?
It's heaven.
Huh?
It's heaven.
It's heaven. Is that an idea?
No.
Just be. Don't go, just be. Don't hold on to ideas of good or bad, not even ideas of heaven or hell. Don't hold on to any idea. You're just here. Is there darkness?
No.
Is there fear?
No.
Is there loneliness?
No.
What is here then?
Joy.
Where is the end of joy?
There's no end.
That's all. That's all. Are you dead?
No.
No. Are you afraid?
No.
Okay. So true to my word, you can come back and go back to the place you were.
No. I'm staying. Oh no, I'm not even staying. I just am.
Yes. Where you are, did you arrive here?
No.
Can it leave?
No.
Can it fade?
No.
Did you create it?
No.
Are you sad?
No.
Disappointed?
No.
Is it enough?
I don't know. Enough feels like if it would be enough, then I would leave it again, but it just is.
Thank you. That is called winning yourself back from delusion, you see? And it is good, because this satsang that I've shared with you, it is already enough for me to come here in Rishikesh to have this satsang with you.
Thank you.
It is true. Because it is exposed how subtle the mind can try to imitate the self. And yet, ultimately, I am not even calling the mind bad. I'm not calling this, even if it's a devil, I'm not calling bad, because you need to use this to transcend this. When I said before, it is as though consciousness creates the sense of a problem in order to have the experience of transcending it. But just in the play, because beyond the play, it doesn't exist, it is only what it is. It's perfect beyond the concept of perfect. But in this play, it was playing that it tried to imitate the words to say, but Mooji said emptiness, he said nothingness, and I've now come to discover the nothingness. You even started by saying, the first day I discovered the truth. The first day you spoke, I discovered the truth. And what was this truth? That there's nothing. There's nothing, there's nothing. And I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. Then I say, this is wrong, nothing. You came to the very edge. The mind was there. It's telling you, jump, or don't jump, go back. And I'm just telling you, stay as you are. Because he said, if you make one step, you're going to, you're gone. But if you step back, you'll be, whichever way. They don't tell you that. But you had to cross over from this very subtle deception. And you crossed over by not going anywhere at all. Just as you are. But the delusion slipped away from you. And then I said to you, true to my word, if you don't want this, if you find that this was, this even more, nothing. I said, look, I promised you in my life, for what I am, you can go back to the place you were a few minutes ago. And you trusted that. This is the word. You trusted that, and with that trust, you could allow yourself to let go of the final string of the devil. And where did you go? You're here. You're here. And now a smiling coming, happiness coming. Before, there's nothing, but there's no joy, there's no peace, there's no space. Now, there's nothing, but there's joy, there's peace, there's happiness, I am here, I didn't die, I can still see my children, I can still have some nice dal and rice for lunch. I'm not going to eat nothing. So everything is here. But you are free from a delusion, and this delusion has held the whole world captive. This delusion is holding the whole world captive in personhood. The one that doesn't trust God, that doesn't trust, this, every human being, everyone must at some point come to this place. Maybe not this life, maybe another life, I don't know. Where you come to this point. Not necessarily in this way. This played a particular kind of, in a particular way. I'm very happy to have had this conversation with you. Yes? Because even if I had this conversation with you for 2 hours, it's going to help to free thousands of people who experience this type of fear. In the final moment, something comes and goes, don't go. And we step back. And we've been stepping back, we've been postponing, we've been excusing, we've been suspending, we've been avoiding what? Your own self. Your own self. Because an idea is put in your mind that your ego is yourself. And that what you are being invited to discover is a kind of strangeness, dressed up, looking like Shiva, dressed up looking like Buddha, dressed up looking like Christ, whatever it is. And something goes, I'm not sure I want that. I like my life. And now you have discovered your timeless existence. Your timeless existence, to the extent that you can say, when I say, where is the end of your joy? You say?
Endless.
Endless. Where are you speaking from to speak with such authority? Where? From yourself. From yourself. Not from university, not from, psychotherapy, not from hypnotherapy, from yourself. And I wanted to see whether that subtle choice would be made where you discover your timeless existence. Because something was trying to rob you of your timeless existence. He wants to be preparing another womb, another birth for you, another samsara for you. But you are free.
I'm free.
And you have always been free, but you have not been aware of your freedom. And today you are aware of your freedom. And may what you discover be multiplied thousands of times. But maybe it's not for me to say.
Thank you.
Thank you. As I've said before, there's a subtle thing functioning. There's a force in this play of the human expression of consciousness. There is a dichotomy, there is a duality, as there is in all things in this play of manifestation. And there is a force inside us that is more wanting you to be the ego, to live earth life, and to not know your divine nature. And largely, we are attracted to that because through the senses, through the mind, he's there, and we are thinking, but I have all of this. And on the other side, there's an energy that is, I'm using the word energy right now. There's a force that is moving towards God, moving towards truth, moving towards the higher self, moving towards the higher levels of consciousness. But we become sometimes so habituated to this lowly kind of thinking of ego identity. And the ego identity is a bit of a selfish state and fearful, full of complexity and judgments and all of this superstition, all of these things. So I don't want to talk to you about all these things. I just want to show you, as much as grace allows this, the purity of who you are, the purity of your natural being. You don't need any manipulations, you don't need any technique. You don't need any technique. You really don't even need any practice. You don't need to become something else. There just has to be the willingness to look and to begin to discover the functioning and the mechanism of the psychological mind. How we've been living under the influence of personhood and not discovering your full nature. So this is how important it is to have spoken with you, to show and to break down the film that lives in us, to break down our own personal ego YouTube, and to look at it frame by frame and say, look, this thing, look at this thing. And you see right at the very gate of nirvana, if you could do like this force is still trying to call you, come, don't go. You see? And where did you go? Nowhere. You're just here. You're just here. All life, we're trying to go somewhere. And something is pointing you to what is really here, what is timeless, which is unborn, which is uncreated, which is inseparable, which is imperishable. But the human mind can't believe that. It's some kind of trick, it sounds nice. And so that's called sleeping. You know, there's something here, like I don't want to talk about anything else. I want you to really try to digest what has happened here. Your seeing, her seeing should be your seeing. You don't have another story. You may have another version of the same thing, but your seeing is the same. It's overcoming the kind of psychological or the hypnosis of the psychological self. We all believe this conditioning and how much you have to do, and you have to practice, and you have to really try hard, and you have to meditate every day. And I said, who is doing it? The construct of an identity that you take to be yourself. That you believe, I have to do this, I have to do that, and in my case, and in my experience, and advertising the false self. What you are, you already are. It has always been perfect, but it is not personal. We are all attached to a personal version of who we think we are. And whoever you may think you are today, I guarantee that in a short while you will not describe yourself in the same way. Another version, and another version, and a succession of upgrading our ego, and still not finding the truth of yourself. So I don't just want to move on to another story. There is no next except in your mind. All this is the timeless now. The truth, let's use the light of what we have seen to look. Because the truth that you're seeing is not, you're not seeing it with these eyes. It's not with fleshly, biological eyes you're looking, but with the eyes of understanding, the eyes of the subtle intellect, the eyes of your heart. You see this thing. if we are deeply attached to our physical identity, or psychological identity, that will amount to a kind of an eclipsing of your intuitive recognition of what is true. And as long as we are fascinated and attached to our identity as a person, the attraction for truth or to evolve to higher levels of consciousness will be weak inside you. You are sitting in the energy field, the grace field of Satsang. Why? Because something inside you wants to wake up and something inside you don't. So which is the voice you will listen to? You see? What is waking up? Just waking up to what you have always been. Not waking up to a new version of yourself. And this is why this was fascinating, because I say, I have not met anyone who has woken up and regretted it until today. I said, no, this doesn't make sense, because if she is true, then I've been telling lies all my life? No. I said, no, something is not right. And it is the first time we have come so close to look at the mechanism, at the sophisticatedness, at the subtle deceptiveness of the egoic mind. And we caught him. You caught him. How subtle, how close. In 1 second, you could have lost, so to speak. This which you are now would have been hidden again, maybe for another 100 years, maybe for another 10 lifetimes. You are drifting in the sea of samsara. And this is why I say, the invitation, use him, he's a friend. Keep showing you what you cannot not be. It's helping, it's looking into the mirror of the self to reveal your timeless being. And beware, there is a force that does not want you to look. Don't curse this force. This force you're going to use. This force you're going to use to find the true self. Because we need the friction, of doubt, of trials and tribulations, the aspiration that enable you to overcome, to transcend. I have not come here to share theory with you. I have not come here to just give you, kind of like fluffy concepts. I've come here something direct. And this is why sometimes so much resistance come up, you see? This morning I went off, a few of us go out, like I do in different places I go in the mornings to just go for a walk. You see? You may have noticed I've slimmed down a little bit. Okay, so we are on the road going this morning, and I noticed somebody came and was riding next to me, but I know the face, I've seen before. We're riding, and I said, I'm riding. I say, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Can I help you? I said, okay, I pulled off. We pulled off the road, and we stopped. And this man came, and he said, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. So, okay. Then he said, I've been waiting for, I think 2 years or 4 years, something like this. I'm waiting 4 years for you to come, to see you. And now that you are here, I find that I'm running away from you. So I said, I understand that. Because I've heard this voice many times. I understand that. Don't be ashamed. I am not hurt. Because I know what is speaking in you. Yeah? Because when I'm here with you, this thing that wants to keep you in your ego, in your body, it comes up. And that's why you want to run. You see? But I've come here for you, to help you to find that which will never leave you. And this is how we talked. And then in the end, we had such a beautiful meeting. I even said, listen, I'm going for a walk, you can come. We had a beautiful morning like this. I am attracted to satsang, and yet something wants to run away. I love you, but sometimes I hate you. So I know this voice. I know this voice. I've met this voice many times. Yes. It also lived in me. Attracted. I love you, Mooji. You know? Yeah, I know it. And why I'm not upset? Because I know it's not you. I know it's not you. It is the things that we have been swallowing for so long that is not in service to your truth. And when we are together, he can't hide. It's like he can't hide. It's like hiding behind a sheet of glass. So he has to come up, and he comes up. And I said, don't identify. Let him come. Don't run away. Because if you run away with him, when in fact you should be turning away from him. But because this voice is homegrown, it's been a developing relationship, and we have given for whatever things, maybe something hurt you in your life or something, and you've listened to this voice a bit too much. And it seemed like a friend, but it is robbing you of your eternity. And because being such as myself, I am not different from you. I'm the same like you. But I've seen him and I know him by the grace of God. And then I come to tell you, I am for you. Just listen. Just listen. Hear me in your heart and you find your freedom. Because your freedom is not somewhere else. It's right here, but it's being covered by something which is unfree. This is what happened today. And if you have a space in that, you may find a lot of anger. Yeah, it's okay. It's not personal. I know if you feel hatred towards me, I know it's not personal. I feel even if you have love for me, it's still not personal. I'm not even asking you to love me. You don't have to. It's not necessary to love me to be free. It is not necessary. But if you only hate me, it will prolong this way of seeing, because I came only to guide and to remind you, I'm just a friend. I'm just a friend. You don't have to take me as no guru or nothing. I'm just a friend. I just tell you, just look. You see? Because the relationship between a guru and a real devotee, this duality, it shouldn't really last for very long. Because he's only trying to show you, but you are just like me. We are one. You see? Just follow, just follow, just follow. When you are found, then you may love me. But until then, your love is not stable. And I don't depend on it. I don't need it. I just enjoy. You don't need nothing else to be free. You only need to listen. And if you follow to the voice that really is for you, and you come to know it, because anytime you listen to the true voice, you find that there's more space in your life. You're more kind. You're more patient. You're more open, more wise. Yes. And what does this voice says? Give me some money. I don't need your money. I don't need to exchange anything with you. I don't think anyone who has found the truth wants anything from you. Because they already have everything. And they're not even attached to that even. Because truth is not about having something. It's about who and what you are. And I tell you, it is enough for you. Then all the things of the world, it's okay too. Nothing is wrong with them. Nothing is wrong with them. Nothing is wrong with money. But your attachment to money or your desire for money will cause trouble for you. Nothing is wrong with anything. It's only here. It's only how it is for you. If you make it so important, then you will lose your way. I started this season by saying to you, for hundreds and thousands of years, human beings have been coming together just like we are now. Yeah? In hilltops or caves or in valleys or by the side of rivers or in places like this, who were drawn to question something, their existence. What are we doing here? What is it all about? Each one, as it was in accordance with the timing of God, they were finding out, why are we here? Who are we? What are we doing? What is this whole purpose of this life? And many of them, they came to a very perfect realization, a perfect awakening as to the true nature of themselves. They left their bodies and they remained in the timeless. And fast forward a few thousand years, we're here now. It's our turn to look again. Who are we? Where did we begin? Who are we? What is possible with a life? You see? Why am I here? Is it just to suffer? What is the purpose of such suffering or momentary joy and all this dreaming that doesn't go anywhere? You see? So I have to say, may each one who has, in whose heart is beating for freedom, may you come to the complete realization of the timeless self in you and be timelessly happy. Don't wait until your body drops away. That's also a grace, no? But while your body is warm, while there is time, use time to discover your timelessness. There's nothing wrong with life. There's nothing wrong with anything by itself. But you must understand this. And you must transcend the influence of this. It's like Jesus say, trust in God, trust also in me, because I have overcome the world. What world is he speaking about? What world is there to overcome? This that is speaking in your head. You must understand its nature, and you must understand who you are, who is listening to it, and overcome. And Satsang here in Rishikesh is to overcome the voice that is not in service to your freedom. That is all. I have not come to create some, different religion or membership of anything. I'm a simple guy. I don't need to speak with you more complicated. But if you get what I'm pointing, if you get what is pointed, you will know the freedom I'm speaking about as your own natural state. Only I tell you, beware of arrogance. Ignorance, everyone have tasted ignorance. But if ignorance gets combined with arrogance, darkness comes into this world. Be open. You have no natural enemy in life. Even this, ultimately, as you mature into your wisdom, you will come to say, yes, thank you, mind, for giving me such a hard time. Because if you didn't give me a hard time, I would not have developed the aspiration to transcend you. And you'll find you don't have to curse anything. Everything which brings even pain to you, you'll be wise enough to say, I needed that to be where I am. God bless you. And those who are to awaken to their true nature as unborn awareness, let it be so. Those whose nature and temperament is designed by the Supreme to fall in love with the Supreme and to merge in the consciousness of the Supreme Self, let it be so. Hallelujah. Amen. So as I said, may those whose time it is to wake up to this timeless truth bless you. And may those who you meet on the path of life be so touched and inspired by the presence you are, by your grace and peace and openness and love and compassion, by your silence and your fun even, that they are compelled, they are so inspired that they are compelled to search within themselves to find the light that they see in you and also find freedom. May freedom and truth and love become contagious on this planet again. Perhaps this is a fantasy, but you are real as you wake up to it. Om Namah Shivaya. Can we have some music today? So this song, the name of it, I'm not used to. Hume Raaston ki Zarurat nahi hai. You say what it is. Say it for me.
हमें
Yeah, this microphone. हमें
रास्तों की ज़रूरत नहीं है.
Zarurat nahi hai. Okay, excuse me. It said here, you have lit the lamp of knowledge in us. Because of you, the darkness has disappeared. If you are not there, Guruji, there is nothing. We don't need roads or paths because we have got your footsteps. Brahma and Shiva unite in you. Everything is yours. Everything I offer to you. Now I am yours and you are in me. I believe this is a song of Kabir. No? Okay. Whenever I feel sad, whenever I feel lonely, you come as the sunshine. You are the one in flowers. You are present in the buds. You are the one in every wave of the ocean. Wherever I go, only and only you are present. Serving everyone is my worship now. Only and only you are there. There is nobody else. You brighten everything. In every molecule, you are there.
जरूरत नहीं है
as you know, that I have such a love for these simple songs from heart, and the depth of them, they I prefer to listen to them alone.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love you too. Showed you the grace, mate.